Hello everybody, it is Emery48 here and welcome back to some more ScapeCon 4 gameplay. Today we are going into the VC Bring 2 Strike 1 Rule of 12 Cut. The first 3 games of Cut, which is the top 16 play-in, the top 8, and the semi-final. I'll send you over to the commentators for the top 16 game.
We have Trust Keeper and GucciiBoost. We're going to be having GucciiBoost on the left, Trust Keeper on the right. And let's see, just real quick, as I am pulling up the armies so that I can start to type those in, as we wait to see which armies they've chosen. Oh no, the armies have disappeared from Heroescape.org. Oh, what do we do? You wouldn't happen to know if I can still find the armies in this, do you?
Should be at the bottom. Or not.
Yeah, I've got nothing there. Well, I might just have to make it up. Oh! Thanks, Nitrosobacter. We've got him.
Perfect.
So, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so those are the 2 for Gucci. And then those are for, Trust Keeper. So that'll be perfect. Let me put Trust Keeper up real quick. And also good news, we've got Rai Guy Plays Games is going to be hopping on with us here in a little bit because he's got to buy. Do you want to jump in too?
No, I'm playing in tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay, so you're just hanging out for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know it's all looking.
Yeah, it's working well.
Does it need to... Oh, no, you can see the dice on it.
Yeah, the dice, I thought they were going to be a little bit small, but you can actually, you can tell what they are pretty easily.
That's good.
The only problem is when they're going fast and they like grab them too quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the die wound markers for the heroes is very helpful too. So let's see. Looks like nope, not that one. This one.
Yeah, Ari's doing the
Mimring army. GucciiBoost. That'll be. Mimring has 6 moves, right? 1, 4, 3. 6 with 1 range, kind of. 4 attack, 3 defense. And then we've got Otar. Do you happen to know Otar's stats?
I don't even know who that is.
I know he's a pig. I'll make it up for now, and then I'll double check here in a second.
It's definitely a VC character, and I know nothing about that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
4 tag. It's fun if you ever want to play Pumbaa in an Arrow Grut build.
That's the figure?
Yeah. 6143. Thank you again, Nitrosobacter, and 3 life. Dude, I wish you guys could see. I should have had this up live as I was making the edits, but I totally got all those stats correct. Let's see. So we've got 4 Swog Riders, and there are 4 squads of Arrow Gruts. 12 out of 12, and then stats 8 move, 1 range, 3 attack, 3 defense, and then for Arrow Gruts, we've got, oh, come on, 6 move, 6 range, 1 attack, 1 defense. Alright, there is GucciiBoost over on that side, and then looks like we've got the Glad Blast army for Trust Keeper. So let's pop that in real quick. So we've got Raylan, Swarm of the Marrow, 5, 6 move, 1 range, 3 attack, and 3 defense. And then after that, we've got 2 squads of Blastatrons, which means 8 figures on the board, and they have 5 move, 7 range, 1 attack, and 2 defense. We have 2 squads of Gladiatrons, so 8 out of 8 on the board. We have 5 move, 1 range, 2 attack, 3 defense, and then Isamu is there, and he's hanging out as well with his 6 move. 1 range, 3 attack, and 1 defense. And I realize the game is already starting on, so that means we'll be able to jump right into it. How's it going? We're going to have Rye Guy jumping in a second, but yeah, thank you. We'll snag you later, though, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just in.
You're in top. Oh, you've got a. Do you have a bite too right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 2 playing games.
Maybe we'll even have. Do you want to hop in right now and we can have like you and Rye Guy talk through it? Because you're both top cuts, so you can talk about. You can even like scout out your competition and all that. See how it's going.
I don't want it to be too.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Like basically, then I'll just take a little bit of a step back. But yeah, hop on in, and then when Rye Guy gets here,
I might also just lose, and then I can hop in.
that could work too. Well, not with that, not that attitude.
Oh, I'm not gonna jinx it.
Yeah, no, up to you. If you want to jump in this round, you're welcome to. We can have you and Rye Guy, or if you want to take a break for a round.
What's the? I might take a break, actually.
Okay.
Just for my own headspace.
That works. That works.
I have to do a rematch. Same person I played round 5.
Oh, fun. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that was Night of Light is here. We'll be getting him on stream at some point for sure, but not quite now as we're waiting for Rye Guy to hop on in with us. Okay, so let's see. Looking at the army, this is going to be played on Subduction. We've got Raylan has made an early move out of the start zone, hanging out on a little piece of high ground. And then we've got Gruts moving up as well. And looks like Otar, just behind that pillar there, is moving up too. Robbie X93. I don't know what that means. First time chat. Congratulations for your first time chat. Let's see. So for this matchup, okay, so both of these are Gucci's armies. Not clicking that. Yeah, I don't recommend clicking that. Thanks for the contribution, Robbie X, but I'm going to recommend that the viewers do not click on this. Could be just about anything. So let's see. Looking at the strategy here in the overall, because these are both Gucci's armies. Or sorry, no, these are both Trust Keepers armies. So they've been designed more or less to go against each other. So let's see, what is the overall strategy here? This is also going to be really interesting with so much lava on the board. I think Gruts actually, for the map, are going to have a little bit of a harder time because they really like to have just good pieces of real estate where they can hang out with Swog riders, get off some good attacks, build up just like some good strong bases, while Mimring does his thing. So you're probably gonna have to take a little bit more of a loose approach on this map, which the army can also fully do. It'll be fine doing that, but it'll just be a little bit of a wrinkle, I think, in the Arrowgrat usual game plan. But there are plenty of figures on the board for Mimring to fireline into, and I think that's what Trust Keeper's going to need to be watching out for. And that's where I really like Bring 2 because we get to see how were these armies designed, what's the main idea in them, what is each army trying to do, how does each army win against each other, because you should have a win condition for both ways. And it looks like the win condition for the Arrowgruts is to use Otar to run in and attack Raylan. Let's see, so Otar gets to attack a figure and then gets to toss the figure. So it looks like the attack missed, but he did toss Raylan behind him. And so that puts Raylan now is a little bit closer to those Arrowgruts. We could see a Raylan kill coming in pretty quick here. I like that move, and Trustkeeper might be kicking himself a little bit for putting Raylan right next to Road there and having Otar come in. Granted, there's a D20 roll and everything, etc. That comes into play as well, but that could be huge, and could not be. It could be fine. Otar is probably going to be taken out in the next little bit because you've got a bunch of Gladiatrons next door, but we'll see how that goes through. Anyway, so back to how these armies kind of play into each other. Glad Blast moves so many figures at a time that I think it then gets a little bit harder to play into Mimring and deny multiple hits from Fireline. So I'll be really interested to see how Trustkeeper plays into this. And see what he tries to do in order to keep the fire lines in check despite his many figures on the board. Looks like the Arrow Gruts took some ping shots at Raylan, and Raylan did take a wound. So let's get that in there. All right, and then Trustkeeper coming in with some Glad Blast action. Yep, moving up, surrounding Otar. Probably going to take some good shots into there. But at the same time, this is probably what Trustkeeper, I would guess, is looking at right now too, is like you want to go in, you want to surround Otar, but you also don't want to do so and then open yourself up to a big fire line in retaliation. In fact, like, let's see where he's at right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so like where he's at right now, if he gets that surround on Otar, Mimring will be able to come in from the start zone and get a fire line on 2 figures. Now that said, I should feel honored that I created an account just to come heckle you. Sanderson19, is that Flash? Is that a Flash 19 right there? If I think Sanderson, that's the first thing I think of, and so, oh man, I am honored to be heckled. Maybe. Well, welcome to the stream, Sanderson19. Happy to have you here, you mysterious somebody. Let's see, so attacks continuing to be made against Otar here. Otar has fallen. Let's go ahead and mark that in our text box. Otar gone. And then just making some attacks against Arrow Gruts, gets 1 kill there. So at the end of it, looks like that's the end of the attacks. So let's go ahead and mark 1 Arrow Grut down. All right, so I am wondering if Mimring will come out. Let's see, as I was looking at just before I was rudely interrupted by Sanderson19. So I am here at ScapeCon. Yes, I am. So Mimring could run out. Fireline hit 2 Soulborgs, but there is a Gladiatron on the glyph there, so that could be dangerous. But we'll see. Looks like, actually, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like he's counting moves. But yeah, so we're here at ScapeCon, having a grand old time. Enjoying things. It's all the things that you hear about it. Just on a side note, just because I got to talk about ScapeCon for a second while these moves are being counted. Yep, I am not playing this match. I'm just commentating, trying to give whatever insight I can. That's my main job. Going to be here at ScapeCon is just running around behind the scenes, either commentating or getting people to commentate, and then just have fun while doing it. It's been a lot of fun. All the things here about ScapeCon, like the food and stuff. Man, the food's great. Also, we've had some AOA figures. So for those of you guys who haven't seen those yet, Zenithrax is bigger than you're ready for her to be. Just be warned about that. All right, so we've got a fire line. Looks like, I believe from that angle, yeah, looks like GucciiBoost was just targeting Raylan with that attack. Which, also fair, right? To be able to try to snipe her out. And he did put her up to 4 wounds on Raylan. So let's go ahead and mark that real quick. But yeah, 1 life Raylan now. And that could fall to Arrowgrat pings. So this could be a sticky situation. In fact, I thought that move early from Otar and kicking back Raylan a little bit, I'm like, oh, that's a fun move. That's a kind of cute move. I didn't think it'd be a huge move, but that's kind of paying out. He did kill the Gladiatron on the glyph, and looks like no further damage going through. So just mark 1 Gladiatron down. Okie dokie. Let's also move this little box here. That should work a little bit better for us. Be a little bit more out of the way. All right, let's see. Trustkeeper. How's Trustkeeper going to answer this? You jumping in?
I'm jumping in.
Jump in. All right, guys. I wasn't a liar. We've got Rye Guy Plays Games here to join us. 1 second, I'm going to mess with the mic real quick. I believe if we do this, then it'll still pick us up. Oh, yep, those sound levels look okay. And then I don't have to hold the mic. So, welcome, Rye Guy.
Yeah,
How's
it's
it
good
going?
to be here. I'm having so much fun already.
Oh, good.
I'm so thrilled to be here. So yeah, I'm hanging out because I got to buy, but I'm ready to look at a match with you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dynamic duo back together.
Yeah, and this time it's live, so we can actively yell at them if we want to.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Exactly.
So just give you a quick rundown of what's going on in the match right here. So we've got Gruts versus Glad Blast. Early game, Trustkeeper put. I'm pointing at the screen because Raike can benefit. You guys can't, sorry. Trustkeeper put Raylan on a little high ground right outside the start zone. And then we had a little Otar blitz. Otar came in, gore and toss Raylan over onto that road spot there.
It.
So, holy cow, where did those balloons come from? I don't know how Twitch goes, so I don't know where those balloons just came from. But thanks for balloons, I guess.
We love it.
But yeah, so that happened. Raylan's now got 4 wounds on her.
Oof.
With that, so a pretty decent. I mean,
Wow.
Otar died.
Yeah, it
right
feels
away.
like I missed a lot actually. Showing up late. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's
Wow.
still plenty of
Quite-
figures on the board, but
Quite the development. Yeesh.
yeah, it was a nice early game play from GucciiBoost.
Excellent. So we've got. I believe the Arrowgrat army is not Trust Keepers, if I'm not mistaken, but the Gladiatron army is. Do you know how the drafting went?
I don't know the exact drafting process. I do know that GucciiBoost chose first, I guess.
Okay.
But actually, I can scroll up real quick and get us the full armies so that we know what they were picking between. So Gucci had Arrowgruts, Blastatrons. The other army was Arrowgruts in 10th. Oh, okay. So
Yeah. Okay.
but this one.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
If I had to guess, I would guess this 10th army got struck, and then rather than play the Arrowgruts mirror, Trustkeeper wanted to use his Glad Blast to avoid what I think would be a slightly worse mirror for him with more Swogs and no Mimring. Krug
fair.
Krug can do Krug things. But I think Mimring tears up the board, tears up your opponent's Arrowgruts, and then by the time Krug gets to him, the Arrowgruts are enough. The Arrowgruts and Swogs are enough to take down Krug. And I know from talking to Trustkeeper before this game, they narrowly won their own Arrowgut army into this Glad Blast, so they know that this Glad Blast army has a close matchup with Arrowguts. So I like that pick. I think this is about as even as we could get, although that Goran Toss play was really nice.
Oh, yeah.
From GucciiBoost end.
No, I was like, oh, you moved him a little bit. That's fun. I don't know how much that'll play, but then the Fireline follow-up, put a few more wounds.
Yep.
It's been good.
And I assume Raylan went to the level 4 perch where there's lava and a rock space. I assume she landed on the rock space.
Yep,
there.
on the rock space. So
It's
right by
just
the
such
road.
it's just such a good Raylan place. Even
Oh, it
with the
is.
road there, you're on maximum height. You're totally safe, and there's not a lot of safe height that can shoot even ground on you. Yeah, nice placement, but not reading the Otar play is really interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
Yeah. No, I think even the Otar play was a little bit unexpected too, because Raylan won initiative and moved there first, and then I saw Otar on the road and I'm like, oh, this could be fun, but. Yeah, it looks like the Gladiatrons have had to push a little bit, or they've been pushing Mimring a bit there.
And they don't benefit from the road bonus, so they're still
Right,
taking their
yeah.
time.
I can do some commentating.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking a break from control points.
Oh, are you? Oh, sweet. I'll probably grab you next round then.
Sweet. Yeah, it's weird. I wish it was top down. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. It's like we couldn't quite get top
Could we
down.
rotate the camera just a little bit?
Maybe add some pixels.
Not used to looking. Where's the zoom function? Is that,
Right,
is
yeah.
that an option? Yeah, you still got Raylan on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looks like Gucci's had
he's
to pull
having
back a
trouble.
little.
Yeah, it looks like he's having trouble setting up fire lines on Raylan.
Yeah.
Just fully retreated Mimring here.
Although there were a couple Gladiatrons there that I think that last Fireline took out.
Okay. So you're opting, yeah, because he pushed them outside of Raylan's aura, so that's those are juicy targets over Raylan because she's not doing anything for them anyway. That makes a lot of sense. Is Otar dead?
Otar's gone.
Otar's
Yeah,
gone. Okay.
was surrounded and killed.
Interesting. Do we know how many? It's like 7 out of 8 Blastrons. 8 out.
So-
Is this text live?
It is not.
Okay.
Sorry. With all the rolls happening and then just talking about stuff, I have not been paying as close attention to what figures have been lost, so I do apologize for the viewers as well.
I'm distracting our fearless leader here.
Nods. No, all for the best though. All for the best.
Yeah.
Like if the squad figure counts and stuff on screen are totally correct, that's okay.
Yeah, they care about the color commentary, not the numbers.
Yeah. You're here to listen to
Exactly.
us guys.
You're here to live, laugh, and love, not not see if it's 6 or 7 out of 8 Gladiatrons left.
Yeah.
Exactly. We are approaching. I wish we could see the order markers on the bottom.
I'm sorry, Nitro.
We've got some cards. I think are there order markers on. I assume they're all on Arrowguts.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we do have the
That would be the only reason.
dice cam is covering those cards a little bit.
Chat says text not up to date. Unbelievable. I assume. I mean, just with the way the streaming software works, it's a pain to.
Yeah, it is a manual thing. I'll
update,
see if I
yeah.
can count it out, but
You would need a second person dedicated just for that.
That would-
So that's not feasible.
doing it
at
so
this
far,
time.
I've kind of wanted that. To,
When are we gonna get like visual AI to just recognize when a figure
Right?
gets taken
Yeah.
off and then update that for us? What are we using it for? Sanderson asks, I'm not sure how long ago this was, but you're just commentating, not playing this match. Yes, we're not much for players. We're much more comfortable behind the table.
yeah, we like to judge people instead of make our own mistakes.
Yeah, we prefer to be all-knowing rather than have to know anything.
Exactly.
On the board, in the game. Yes.
So, well, actually, one thing I want to ask that I was kind of looking at earlier. So, when I was looking at this matchup at first, I was thinking with so much lava on the board, I feel like that kind of makes it a little bit harder for the Arrow Gruts, since they can't set up as well. Now, those Arrow Gruts have just kind of been playing the come at me game instead, so I think it's working out okay, but do you have any thoughts there?
Yeah, so the game I have played against Aerogruts on this map, they can actually utilize the height really well because they're very
really?
fast.
Right, that's true.
Six move on this map is really, really nice because most of the height is lava, and there's a couple hexes on level 4 that aren't. So the way the Gladiatrons want to sort of funnel down the middle where Raylan is, the Aerogruts have no problem hopping up to level 2, level 3 immediately and being able to take shots. It doesn't look like the Swog Riders are pushed forward very much, and that's maybe to avoid getting them hit from Blastotrons.
Right.
But Aerogruts have a fantastic ability on this map to immediately take height from out of nowhere. So I don't anticipate that being too much of a problem for GucciiBoost, actually.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I'm like watching it through. I think that's definitely correct because I guess I wasn't anticipating the stay and start zone, even though I feel like when I play Aerogruts, I always have these like dreams of like, okay, I can put a Swog here, and move up and take this ground, and it'll be great. And then I end up kind of just playing in my start zone anyway. So I don't know why I keep having that.
You have this vision in your head of setting up the super grunt where you've got like 7
Yeah,
Swogs
do the
around him
star
and one
and-
grunt shooting like 10 attack dice. Exactly.
Yeah, and then I just
And then it somehow never comes together.
yeah, it's like I can take this hill, I can set up the super grunt, and I'm just like, well, no, or I could just stay in my start zone in like this immediate
Right.
surrounding area.
Yeah, exactly.
So for some reason I keep having that train of thought though.
Yeah, I mean 6 range is pretty obnoxious. So if you're comfortable keeping your Swogs where you are, I totally understand. Especially because that just means a turn with Mimring to
Right.
threaten a fire line, threaten moving somewhere really important. Maybe getting a surprise hit on Raylan. I know Mimring is in a position there where if that Gladiatron next to the ruin. That's not a Blastotron, is it?
That is a blast.
Oh, okay. Well, if that Blastotron next to the ruin goes down, or even if not, you have a pretty nice fire line. If Mimring rooms onto the rock a couple spaces forward, you've got Raylan in your sights, and you've got that Blastotron in your sights, who's out of Raylan's aura there, hiding behind the ruin, out of line of sight, I assume.
Yeah,
So-
and there's nothing really in that area to
Yeah,
punish you for
no
it either.
Gladiatrons over there. Mimring is going to move. Okay, yeah, right to that rock. A little further away than I
Yeah, is that
would
still
have put her,
Raylan
because you're not going to hit Raylan from there. But maybe you don't care about Raylan anymore with how many dead blasts and glads that you have. I'm really struggling to tell the difference. I see at least one Gladiatron back by the start zone, 1 or 2 up in front of Raylan. Those might both be blasts. Yeah. Gosh, that's hard to tell. Can't they just like shift click and like recolor
Right?
the figures
Oh,
for
that'd
us?
be great. What is this
and
low
that-
tech
yeah.
option that we've got here? We're gonna color
man.
these figures. We're gonna put borders on them.
Oh, yeah, little traffic cones. Crochan1 says, yeah, placement of Swog grouping gets complex. Yes, and you need to plan those out well in advance if you want to take advantage of the bonus, because it can get complicated. It's like, oh, I moved Mimring here, I got a nice fire line. Now that next turn with the Aerogruts, I want to set up a Swog. Mimring's taking up one of those spaces, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
It does get very complex. I agree.
Yeah, Nitro also saying it doesn't look like it, but playing an Airgrunt build takes a lot of skill. Got stumped last time I brought him, which I feel like probably happens the first time most people play Aerogruts, because
I agree.
yeah.
And I know Trustkeeper played them for 3-Headed Hydra yesterday and has been running his own version today.
Oh, really?
So they both know. I assume GucciiBoost knows what they're doing, and Trustkeeper knows what he's playing against and how to beat it. So we're seeing some really interesting play here. And Gucci's playing without any Ray, yes, which Trustkeeper also was, I believe. I don't believe Trustkeeper's Aerograt build had Rayland. No, it did not.
Yeah, no,
so
it didn't.
neither of them brought Rayland, and I think that's appropriate because if you bring Rayland, Swarm of the Morrow, maybe a different story.
I could see that.
Rayland
in
Rise of the
Delta,
Valkyrie
but-
turns it into a cheese build.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you don't want the bring 2, strike 1 stuff to get weird with an automatic strike that can then
I mean, you know what's
imbalance
getting
the rest of the stuff.
How much would you have to drop to bring in Raylan, though,
I mean-
too, is the other... I think, would you just drop Swags
Maybe,
if you were running Raylan?
Rayland, one squad of Aerogruts and like 30 Swags. And that might be sort of an interesting
There you go.
combination.
And that probably fit, too, because Swags are
where
only
you
like
just
15.
you
Right?
try and keep those 3 defense Aerogruts safe and then just shoot Swags into the middle and attack back. I mean,
That'd be
who knows?
awesome.
I personally am not a great Aerograt player, much to my chagrin. I do love the build, but I do not have as much experience as I would love. Now, I know there's been some murmurs in the competitive community about this build reaching a little bit higher rank in like cheese and in top level stuff than people think. It's seen, it was certainly one of the top builds previously. I think it's seen an increase in interest. I think it's seen a return to not the top of the meta per se, but it's certainly seen a return to the meta recently, which is really cool. That we're still discovering things about this game that are actually very good.
Oh, yeah.
20 years later. So that I love to see that.
Yeah, same. I think it's like a high skill build that kind of fell out of favor, and people kind of lost being able to play it as much as well as being able to play against it as much. And then as it's come back in, I think it's been able to show like, hey, it's still, it's high skill, high reward, and you can still see a lot of payoff for good plays
Right.
with it.
Good players can make good use of it, and that's especially to your advantage in a draft format like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that I just realized, we counted wrong. Raylan was totally in that fire line.
Raylan was in
range,
fire line?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, and so she's gone now.
She's gone. Wow. Yikes.
So
Okay. So
I
that's
feels edge Aerogruts right now,
tough.
I would say, as we hype them up.
Yes. Yes. As we hype up the Aerogruts, definitely feels solid. Looks like still 3 Swags on the board and plenty of Aerogruts. Not too many Trods left. And Mimring still at 5 lives, or is
Mimring is
possible they're
Mimring
taking
is at
some
5
shots.
lives. Yeah, I don't see a die for the wounds on the card.
Raylan going down like that is probably game, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's GucciiBoost's game to lose at this point.
Yep, I do think Trustkeeper. In hindsight, not wanting to play the mirror match, knowing that they have a decent match into their own arrows, the pick makes sense. Having Mimring over Krug changes a lot in hindsight.
Yeah.
Having range instead of all melee and then some weaker range into the Trons makes a difference. That is really interesting. Although I do wonder if the 10th actually did get struck or if they were just intentionally not chosen.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure there. I might have to eavesdrop on the next one and see how that goes down.
Yeah.
But so like Grouchant's saying, can feel really bad to play if you can't develop quick enough. I think that's kind of what happened here. Is like that Raylan placement got hurt, and then Mimring's just been picking off Glad Blast, and so that kind of that ball of Glad Glass that you want to get going to really steamroll a game.
Safe as you think they are.
Yeah, and against Fireline too. Like, it's like, how do you even build that ball to start with without getting punished by the fire line?
Yeah, not to mention that this map relies not as heavily as some, but it relies pretty heavily on the road to get you places.
Yeah, it does.
The road is a really nice feature. I quite like this map, maybe an unpopular opinion. I'm a fan of most of Ulysses' maps. And this one, the road is almost a necessity into range. Because that's how you get across the board, right? And so without being able to utilize that for Gladiatrons, it's tough to climb. It's tough to climb through the center there or go around the outside if you only have 5 move. 6 move is really the sweet spot. to be able to utilize the edges, and anything lower than that, in my opinion, needs to make very careful use of the road if you're a melee into range matchup without any. Not that Blastotrons don't have range; it's technically a range versus range matchup.
Right.
But in my opinion, you need to play it like a melee matchup because that's how you're getting good attacks.
It's a fun hybrid where you do rely a lot on being able to get engagements and get a lot of those, because otherwise your attacks just aren't going to go through.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's a great point where, like, because Blastotron, or Glad Blast, I feel like kind of generally struggles a little bit more into range. Like they've got fair matchups. I feel like they've got some of the smoothest matchups, but it's still going to be more favored towards the ranged armies. And part of that, especially when you've got road that is intentionally made to counter range, but your Gladiatrons can't take advantage of that.
It hurts. Yep. And I think here, I think we need to see some heavy pushing from the Blastotrons. To try and get probably across the road. All of the Aerogruts are still on level 1, so you would retain height there. He needs to start putting some Blastotrons next to key figures to get some extra attack dice.
Yeah.
You need to shuttle. Some extra blasts in with your Glads into Mimring, especially if you can, and just take 1 or 2 quality attacks, and then everything else is fine. Mimring is a huge problem. Without Mimring, the last few Glad Blasts maybe clean up. It's not totally clear, but Mimring at full health is interesting.
Yeah, no, it's one of those situations where it's just like, what can I do?
Yeah, I do think Aerogruts specifically, granted the Swogs are very nice for them, but I think Aerogruts specifically are very prone to Blastotron attack chaining, where if you can put 4 Blastotrons next to different figures, kill the first one, and free up the next one for a ranged attack to get the boost, and free up the next one for a ranged attack, you can wipe out a line of Aerogruts very quickly and still retain your homing device bonus. So there's a chance to just wipe a full squad off the board.
Yeah,
no problem.
That could definitely happen. It's just that Mimring.
But yeah, the Mimring is because you can get 1 or 2 quality attacks, but then it's unlikely you've gotten the kill to continue to make those ranged attacks that are high quality. So we may be seeing a close of the game here pretty soon. It looks like just 6 Trons left, if I'm counting right, and
that's all I'm counting.
Something in the back.
That's
there.
an Isamu in the back.
That's an Isamu. All right.
Isamu
maybe
pop
we'll
off.
see maybe we'll see 15 minutes of Isamu shenanigans.
We're here for it. This is the quality ScapeCon gameplay we're looking for here.
I would love to see an Isamu tear. Let's go. Aerogruts are really, just snacks for Isamu. Of course, they are also what you would want to be shooting Isamu with, because that's really all the dice you need.
Right.
Isamu Copium. Yeah, we're rooting for a comeback from Isamu. It's always fun to see. We want those close games. See, as a player, you want a comfortable win, but as a co-caster, we want this to go down to the last life on the last figure, because that's what's exciting for us. So we're just selfish.
Yeah, so we want you guys to be a little bit more even for us,
yeah,
please.
Exactly. If GucciiBoost could roll really poorly all of a sudden, that would be really cool.
Yeah, we just need to, for reals though, right? Like, if you're playing Mimring, and if Mimring were to die next turn to, a couple random, 2-3 attacks.
Let's say you just don't roll shields for the rest of the game. What happens then?
Yeah,
I mean, it could be interesting.
That'd feel so bad for GucciiBoost, but for us, we'd be like, yeah, go!
For us, we would be very excited. Is that another? Okay, we still got 6 Trons. Oh, I think there might be one hiding behind the ruin there on the road. Do you see what I'm talking about?
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, then 2 by. Oh, are those
2 are Aerogruts. Yeah, Aerogruts have moved up now.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah, there was one on the glyph.
I thought those were forward Gladiatrons.
Yeah.
Set up here to commentate the commentators.
Commentate the commentators.
We were just talking about how we're judging the players, so then you can keep us in check and judge us.
I had a new shirt on today.
That'd be good. That's a couple levels of meta that.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got a HeroScape game going where they're going to judge you. We just sort of continue the cycle. Okay.
It's not an abuse cycle, though, right?
It's all in good
It's a
fun.
healthy cycle.
It's all in good fun.
Okay, so that is, I believe that's a Gladiatron that just engaged. I think the other ones are all
Three
blasts.
Yep. Tough. Shot down on... Oh, wait. Oh. That guy came out of nowhere. Okay. I don't know where that...
They're hiding.
I don't know where that
This is
last
also
came
a
from,
tough
behind the
map
ruin.
for...
Yeah, for viewing.
We've got a pretty
yeah.
decent angle, but this map just has so many columns and ruins.
He like magics that Gladiatron. He's got the long sleeves on, and he's just like
He's
like
just
a magician. He's like slipping.
And
the
I've got
figures
another
out of
guy
his-
here.
Yeah. Oh, look from behind the ruin, and he's like,
And there's sometimes that I wish I did that in my games.
yeah, it would be nice to.
I
Produce
could have
a
used
couple
that
Trons.
against Nick the Ant earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't like moving that Blastron that was up on the road back. You got to get shots down on Mimring at this point, wherever you can.
Yeah.
I understand wanting to keep him safe from boosted Aerogruts attacks, but you got to try and get that 2 into 3 and hope you get a wound or two.
Mm-hmm.
Because then maybe Mimring has to back up again, and you might be safe from the fire line. Because there is a chance. This is order marker 1. There's a chance Mimring has to retreat. If you get the kill on that Aerogrut here, or even both of them, you free up those Trons. Mimring doesn't want to sit next to him, so Mimring probably has to go somewhere. That feels a little better, having to force Mimring back.
Yeah.
You really want an end of the round initiative flip, because Dagmar is right there for the taking, and if you can hop a Tron or two next to Mimring.
Has he used Dagmar? I know he's taken Dagmar a couple times.
Okay,
I don't know if it's
without
you held it
Raylan
long
there,
enough though.
Yeah, without Raylan there, it's going to be tough to hold. Dagmar is really, in my opinion, Dagmar is like once per use split per game. You time it right, and that's when you get it. But you're not trying to hold Dagmar in any sense. So I think.
Let's see. So he is getting some attacks on Mimring here.
He's getting a couple attacks. Yeah, because he cleared that arrow and he cleared the other one. So Mimring will have to move.
Yeah. And do something, or just die.
Yeah. Mimring could just step in the lava.
Yeah.
Off the map, off the lava.
Just move into the lava space and then. Let's see. Is he moving a Swog? No, he's moving Mimring over. Okay, yeah, fire line. Hitting. Is there another one behind that flag?
Yes, there is.
And kills them both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a nice roll.
That's a nice roll. Wow. Alrighty, Samu.
You got this,
Let's see
Samu.
it. He's still got 3 Trons left, but he'll be able to stop them from getting to Mimring again. Yeah, 6 move, you just hop right up onto that lava. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's been tough. Like, Trustkeeper just hasn't even been able to really get close.
Yeah, hasn't been able to engage with Glads. GucciiBoost has played it super well. You want to play this KG. You want to cheese this out. You don't want to put Mimring in a compromising position because that is your only offense. You do not want to have to rely on Swogs to do anything.
Right.
So keeping Mimring alive is number 1 priority, and he's done just that.
Yeah, and even now he's still making sure that that Gladiatron won't be able to engage
he's still
Mimring.
Just being super careful. No room for any shenanigans.
Yeah.
Which I mean you're in the top cut. You want to play
Don't
You
want
don't
to
want
throw
to
a
give
game
any
now.
edge. Yep, you don't want to give any edge. As much as we would love for him to just pass the next like 8 turns or something.
I'm sure Trustkeeper would love that as well.
Trying to close this out. Oh, and he gets another kill.
Man,
Yeah,
something
I
could
think.
happen.
I think just in terms of number of figures left on the board, I think they will hit the timeout before Isamu can manage to kill everything left. Even if Isamu
he vanishes
never
every
fails
time.
to vanish, I think Isamu simply will not be able to kill things fast enough to remove everything but 20 points left on the board. So
It'd be
I
hard
think-
pressed to, but
I think Isamu is now racing against the clock.
I lost.
Aww. That's alright. How close was it?
I mean, I got him down to like 4 stingers, so.
stingers suck.
We're streaming, we're casting, we're watching the game here. But once this is finished, this will finish up very quickly, and then I'll hop off. I'll let Cleon hog the spotlight.
Yeah, we'll give him a shot.
He's been itching for the limelight here. So.
Yeah.
Hop in. Yes, this game is
Yeah, there goes the
is
Plastictron.
effectively over.
Yeah,
Okay,
they just
and
shook
they're
it
calling
off.
there. Yeah, excellent game by GucciiBoost. I would love to not run into that army in the top cut here.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
But yeah, great.
Is this right? Because we started
that the
at
current one?
2:30, right?
I think they were delayed a.
2:15 for the. Oh yeah, 2:30 was the buy round. Did they only give them an hour for this?
Is it
75 minutes.
Okay,
75?
yeah, for the play-in game,
Yeah.
they still have
This is like
75.
50 minutes. Like this is like
Right.
super now, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well,
But yeah.
Yeah, this was a ton of fun.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Hopefully, I can hop in some more later this week.
Yeah, hopefully you get
in and
more
out.
buys and
Yeah, hopefully I just
able
get
to
a
hop
chip.
on.
All right. Well, enjoy casting the rest. I assume the other game is just about finished, so I will have to hop back into action here. But
Yeah.
it was a lovely little break.
Yeah, thanks for hopping in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
All right.
So, right, guys, checking out. I'm going to be stepping away from the stream here for a second. I'm going to go see if we can get either GucciiBoost or Trustkeeper to do a little bit of a post-game discussion with us. And then, so I'll be right back, hopefully with them here in a minute. I'll just start off with, I know you guys were already talking about the game, so general thoughts or anything from it?
Mimrings can be a beast.
It was a tough game for sure. Just watching because the Glad Blast trying to play into the Mimring there.
Yeah, and I think the decision for the strike was probably my mistake.
Yeah. So actually, we were wondering that. How did the draft go?
So he won the dice off. He chose to strike.
I struck the 10th,
The 10th. Okay.
and it was probably a mistake. I think I probably should have struck Mimring, but we'll see.
Yeah. The Mimring army with Otar is in there to threaten to gore and toss Raylan from the 10th. And so that's what I did. And then his Raylan down, instead of the little 3-hex perch, down on the road is just, she's going to die.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets picked off.
Honestly, I kind of underestimated that too, because it's not like Otar sitting on the road. And
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, if you can toss, that'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be kind of.
No, it's actually like...
No, it was big. It was
It
big.
was big, yeah.
And I glanced at the card because I'm not familiar with it. I'm like, okay, but yeah, When, as soon as you got that toss, I was like, oh, this is.
Yeah, you
Not
just kind of
bad.
have to hope he go. Usually you want to, it's nice to go second in Hero's Cave, even nicer in that because he moves Raylan up, and then you run Otar up on the road, and he can't cover it because he can't get far enough from the start zone.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. How did you guys feel? We talked a little bit about the map. How did you guys feel like the map was working?
Map is tricky to play on. Definitely tricky.
Yeah. I played a couple matches on today, but tricky because of lava. Nothing can stay put. Unless you want to, especially.
Yeah, it didn't really matter in this matchup as much, but Dagmar with a lava map can be strong because you can step off the height, go on Dagmar, and then step back on the height. Where if you flip your 3 first, then you have to step off the height, and it's like
and when they step on, you're on low ground. But that didn't really matter. I thought about trying to play for Dagmar, but he hopped on it.
And just kept burning him up.
Yeah, just fun.
I did see like every time Dagmar was taken, it was just like the next turn.
Yeah, I think I lost 3 glads. Just going for it.
Just take those fire lines down.
Yeah, no, but we had a lot of fun watching it. Mimring was definitely on a tear for it throughout, but we had a lot of fun. It was me and Ryan Guy talking about it. The players also just looking at like both of those armies are high skill ceiling. I feel like both Bloodlust and Gruts. So I think both of them are playing really well.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for
checking
streaming everything.
in.
Yeah, it's great.
We are looking at Rye Guy versus Doc Sons, right?
Yep, or Dachshund.
Doc Son.
Yeah, it's I was saying Dachshund like the first time that I casted him, and then
Is it
Doc.
because it's Doc's son?
Yeah,
Okay,
and
all right.
Doc said that afterwards, like, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so Rye Guy was just on here, and now he's playing the game, and we get to judge him. Okay, so Rye Guy has Varkanen Dark Claws, which is a squad of 3, right? Yep. And I'll have to look up their stats here in a second, but I believe it is 6, 1, 4, 4. And then we've got Gray Spears. Which is squad of 4. And there's 6. If you know any of this is wrong, let me know.
They're 5 move.
Oh, 5 move?
Yeah, except tracking, that brings them to 7.
That's right.
And then 4 range.
4 range?
3/3, I think.
Attack, 3 defense. Let's see. Quick, oh, he's just got all the squads. Okay. Arcanum. Is that the other squad of 4? Do you know?
No, the other one is the Swift Fans.
Okay, so those ones are 3.
It's like Heroescape trivia.
I know, right? Well, and the Vargs, I don't have, and I
The
just
Quick
can never remember
Blades,
really
I
well.
think, have 5 move.
Are they all maybe 5 move? Am I just overestimating how
No,
fast they are?
Swift Fanes and Dark Claws have 6. Grey Spears have 5. I think the Quick Blades have 5.
Okay.
Quick Blades have 4 defense.
So these are a 4 squad. You said these guys were 6 move?
Yep. 6
Okay.
move, 1 range, 3 attack, 3 defense. But the Quick Blades have 4.
3 attack, 3 defense. Okay.
Quick Blades have 5 move, 4 defense, I believe.
Wait, the quick blades only have 5 move? Doesn't sound super. But they are those the anyway. I'll.
Those
I'll
are the
pull
ones
them up
that
in a
jump
second.
and they like have the special attack that
That's the lightning slash
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
I never play them. I always just play the other
Anything
ones.
else in there that I need to swap out? I think that, and I can double check it here in a second.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But okay, so we'll put Rye Guy's army right there, and let me get Doc's son's army up as well. Oh, I didn't even look at. Hang on, what's he playing? Oh, dwarves. He's got his dwarves. There we go. So Axe Grinders, B11, Derek. I agree, Thrasher Darkrai. They Quick Blade, Swift Fangs, I always get them mixed up because the names are so similar and yet they do very different things.
Yeah, I used to mix that up too. How's it going, Skytail? You have very cool customs.
Oh, he does. Hang on. 4 move, 1 range, 3 attack, 3 defense, B11 resistance. Fighters, which are 5 moves, 6 range. Alright, and thanks for joining for the part of the stream where I get to type up a bunch of stuff before we really jump into the game. And then Derek.
4 out of 4 for the B11s. For like
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I keep missing. Right. And we'll try to do a better job of keeping track of who's on the board and stuff than we did last game. I kind of just gave up at a point. 44, and then 44. Okay. And make that visible, and then let's bring that window over a touch, and boom! All right. Beautiful, and we're already into the game. So, man, those Varkanins move quickly.
Yeah, so he has.
Alright, okay.
It looks like he has the Gray Spears out front shooting down. Dark Claws behind them.
And just taking out some axe grinders. So it looks like 2 order markers moved to the Gray Spears twice, and is now making attacks with them, right? And he won initiative.
That's interesting. So he's keeping his Swift Fanes back. He didn't like charge with them. He has the Dark Claws up, and he's aggressive with the Gray Spears. The thing that's nice about the Varks is that you can play aggressively with them because well, I guess with the squads it's not as prevalent, but if you have like Arctos, you kind of want to lose one so that you can bond with something. So you can be really aggressive with one of your figures because if you lose something, you just bond with something else.
Yeah, I do think it's because I feel like with so many armies that you see, especially like higher levels, you see a lot of like defensive play, right? And you see like people want to like kind of stay cagey, stay protective. But Varks are one where I feel like you really get rewarded for aggressive plays.
Yeah. They also just have so much development.
Yeah. Oh,
and, I like So I think the Swift Fanes and the Gray Spears are the best two because they're 4 squads, so you get 4 activations with them when you bond with something. If you have 2 dead, you're going to be able to take 2 other attacks for when you bond with something. Whereas with the Dark Claws and the Quick Blades, they're only 3. The Dark Claws I like a lot, treating them as almost like you have 4 strong heroes because they're really strong. They can get 2 attacks of 4, which is really good. I like to just send one in sometimes. Quick Blades, I admittedly am not very good with because I never played them. And they're just in a start zone, so I don't know. I do think they're like the worst of the Vark squads, but
oh really?
But I also don't play them much.
Yeah, I've done Gray Spears a few times. I don't own them, so whenever I want to use them, I've got to borrow. So I've done Gray Spears, I think a couple times, just because like them plus Arctos is such a nice little thing even
Arctos
on its own.
It's really strong. Just those 2 things.
Honestly, it's because I've been steamrolled by that a few times. And it's just rock and roll with them. What do you think about the matchup here? Because we're talking about the Varks a lot. We've also got axe grinders playing into this, so they've got their
it's interesting. Axe grinders get +1/+1 against all of them because they're cute or they're large.
Oh, real quick, Leafit, welcome to the chat. How's it going, Leafit? That's my friend back from Utah. I'm recording this so this is Big Bullfrog, and joining me right now is Cleon. We're recording this. We are at the event. We're just in the hall outside watching the game and having a great time. But yeah, so sorry to interrupt your thoughts about the dwarves there.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the dwarf build in this match.
Yeah?
You have 16. Does he have 4 squads of dwarves? Only 3 squads. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, 3 squads there.
Okay, yeah, so...
Let's see. And making a couple attacks. Got one of the Gray Spears. This one. So you would prefer the
I thought he had 4 squads of them. If he had 4 squads, I'd prefer the dwarves. But with only 3, I'm not as sure.
Okay.
Quick blades have a special attack, so you're probably going to want to save those to go into Derek.
Yeah, you can make quick. It's
because there is shadow on this map, and Derek is pretty good with shadow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's an. I'm trying to get like a solid grasp on this matchup because and also action happens so fast too. So let's see. Okay, 1 dwarf lost there. I think, yeah, okay, so let me go ahead and mark that real quick. And, nope, not that one. Okay, so, like, I feel like my first gut reaction was dwarves
Would you be able to move this down slightly?
Down. Oh, that's a great idea. I think I can. Put that. Let's see. We can see through that to the cards. Okay, yeah.
It's easier to see through for order markers then.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. And in fact, let me even see over here. Oh, come on. I'll mess with that later. That window's a little weird. Yeah. So I think like originally like I'm kind of like feeling edge dwarfs because making them 4/4s is great. But I don't. It's just Varks are so fast, and I've seen them do so much destruction like so quickly that it's hard to like. Definitely not like even count them out, but it's. I guess I don't know. I just get always really wary of how quickly Varks are gonna run in and just kill things.
I think it's a pretty even matchup.
Yeah.
Looking at yeah. I mean, he has B11s for cleanup,
which are great. Yeah.
Yeah. But Varks are fast, so he can't really like, kite or whatever.
And the map's small too, so like you're already got Guy's got Varks all up in the middle of the field. Basically, the map is his oyster. Okay, so there was another Grey Spear killed in that last little round of attacks there. Have you played against either Ryan or Dachshund?
Oh, I destroyed both of them. No,
you destroyed... Yeah! Let's get all those details.
I have not... I played against Ryguy online before.
Okay.
But I haven't played either of them this weekend. I've never played them in person. Yeah, I played Ryguy at least once online. I don't think I've ever played Dachshund.
Okay. Yeah, I think Dachshund plays online sometimes too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and he's a good player.
He has a good mentor.
Right? Yeah. No, I feel like the first online tournament that he entered, I don't think he won, but he came very close.
Yeah, was that the one where he had the VC guy that is like Thanos, comes back from the dead?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Azazel?
Yeah, I think he did really well with his Azazel build. Yep.
Leaf and I will totally take credit if you get fired. And I do mean credit. It would be an honor. Okay, that might be a little bit far, but...
Is he forgetting that he has Fearless advantage?
I think he's been rolling with it.
No, it looks like he's forgetting. That's not cool.
Is he? Let's see. No, he's got 4 dice in there.
That might have been a shadow guy, though.
Maybe. I'll keep a look at the next round of attacks too and see, Because if they're forgetting, I'll probably just run over and remind them.
It's quite the thing to forget.
Right? Yeah, no. Well, and you definitely hope, like, going into the matchup, because that's the whole reason why you choose dwarves, right? Is to be rolling fearless advantage.
I could see forgetting that Varks are large, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Could be that, but I don't know.
Yeah. But the nice thing is, like, if you're remembering it at first, like, so Leaf is saying he knows people forget fearless advantage all the time. I think especially when you're playing, like, a mixed army, I think it's easier to forget. Against this, hopefully it's just like, I'm always rolling for attack and defense, so it should work out for him okay there. Let's see. So I'm curious, do you think... I don't think Dachshund has activated Derek at all. Do you think he should be getting up in the mix too, or...
Where is Derek?
I believe Derek is right behind that tree there. But that's a tough one to tell.
Yeah, so I probably... I mean, Derek and Shadow is great, even with Quick Blades, but he didn't develop the Quick Blades until he developed everything else. I would have spent a turn developing him up and bonding with only the 4 move.
Yeah, because you get... They come at you so fast that I could see, like, wanting the 6 move to engage and get attacks back. But maybe the strategy is to still just, like, go a little bit slower. And I haven't played the matchup. I don't play against Varkanens super often, so I can't claim to be an expert there, but I'm just thinking of what options there might be.
Well, I think the 5th attack will really help, and if you're in Shadow, you just don't really care unless he brings up the Quick Blades and uses the special attack, but I having a 5th attack that's often sneak attack that just kills something.
Right.
That's...
Now that attack of 6 is so nice.
And he's also not going to do anything in the end game if he just leaves him back there.
Yeah, so it looks like this turn he's going a little bit slower. I think he developed Derek up to behind the other tree.
So what, he's lost 3 dwarves so far, and Ryguy's lost 2 Grey Spears?
I believe that's where we're at. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, and I haven't even matched or noted all those. That's okay. They're going to make some attacks. I'll update that here in a second. Okay, so yeah, he's rolling 4 dice there.
Okay, alright.
And they're having a very animated conversation. Let's see.
How many more months do you have to make for maps?
How many more months?
Yeah.
Let's see, I've got February, March, April, July, August, or October. So 6 more. I'm halfway through. I've got an idea. I know what I want June to be. I just have not been able to get it to work yet.
I thought March was really unique. It had a lot of like swamp water raised, which is always interesting.
Yeah, they're definitely more like aesthetics first maps.
Definitely October. I built that one for a tournament.
Yeah.
It was not very good for a competitive map, but it looks really
I can see that.
It looks
no,
really cool.
it looks so cool, and I think it's fun to play, but yeah, for competitive, it's just huge.
Yeah.
And there's so much middle ground height. Okay, so let's see. We need to update the Grey Spear there, and then he just lost a Quick Blade. Was that it? What's the one with the little reverse thing there?
It's either a Swift Fang or a Quick Blade.
Swiftwing or Quick Blade?
I think that's a Swiftwing.
Okay.
They have like the same sculpt, just different color.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes it even harder. Do you have thoughts about, let's see, so Nitro asks, how do you play against Varks? Kill one unit at a time if possible?
So, how do you play against Varks? So, Gray Spears can be really deadly in certain matchups that can't get to them. So if you can get attacks on Gray Spears, it's really nice. I mean, usually you whittle them down so that it's hard for them to place order markers. Because, like, if he had one of each Vark left, he couldn't bond with 4 figures. He could only bond with, one other figure.
Right.
So that's kind of what you want to go for.
So you're kind of like almost evenly whittling them down and then trying to pounce on order markers when you get the chance to?
Yeah, I'd say so. Although the 4 Varks definitely is different than if you had like 2 or 3 in a hero.
Yeah, I think that kind of... Because usually you see, or I guess I've seen like 2 squads and usually like Arctos going in. So like if it's Gray Spears, usually I just try to hit those Gray Spears down as quickly as possible because they're doing a lot of damage. But with this 4 squad build, I think that would be my strat, is to just kill what I can at first, hit whatever's in range, and then as those squads start to break down, focus on finishing them off, or just making the order markers a bit more difficult for Ryan. And Dachshund is understandably reviewing the cards. Do you have a lot of experience with playing with or against Varks?
Yeah, I've played them quite a bit. Not the Quick Blades though, I never play them.
Oh, okay.
But I really only play the other 3. Swiftvane's great order marker 1 because they get their boost.
Right.
And Gray Spears are a really nice order marker hub because you can bond and screen for them and move them behind the screen and shoot. And Dark Claws, I usually think of them as 3 heroes. A lot of times I'll send one of them in to set up the it's a dual strike where they get 2 attacks of 4, which is really strong if you can kind of pigeonhole your opponent to do that.
Yeah, the different utility that they all bring is very fun. So there goes a Dark Claw. Looks like that might have even been a blank from Dachshund there.
Killing the Swiftvanes is... I mean, obviously you want to kill everything, but... they're really strong with the order marker 1 because they have 8 move and 4 attack.
Right, yeah.
And so you can't really let them have 3 or 4 Swiftvanes for a while. You have to whittle those. They are definitely tough. I mean, I'd say generally the goal is make it so that their order markers are difficult. Because if you whittle each of them down, it gets harder to put order markers on anything.
Yeah.
It's more likely that you can knock an order marker off.
Right, and that's the thing, you're still playing against 4 unique squads, and they've got a lot of synergy.
Yeah.
But they still have the same order. Well, they can have the same order marker troubles. So, leave it taking some calls for work. Thanks for checking in. Let's see. For so much stuff on the board, I'm actually kind of surprised that there aren't more dead figures so far. I think they're really thinking about where they're like. I think there's a lot of micro plays going on too.
Yeah, I can't really tell what Doc Sun has in the middle of the map as far as dwarves go.
Yeah, those Varks are kind of.
I mean, he has some
in
on
the
the
way.
outskirts. He does only have 7 dwarves left, I think, and 3 of them are, right there.
And at least one more in the start zone.
Okay, so Raigai is bringing the quick blades in, it looks like. Gonna use that special attack. And he can also vault with them. Actually, I don't know if you can use the special after you vault. I don't know.
I feel like you can't. I want to say you can't. That's like one of the random things that I do.
I think.
I think.
Yeah, I think they have a special, and they have to like not start adjacent. I think he just whiffed.
And it is. I do really like their special attack. I think you roll you roll 1 less defense die for
every
each
skull that shows up. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how that works. Go ahead and mark that lost dwarf there real quick.
He's at less stores than that because he has 5 over here that are dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I went the wrong direction. Thank you.
Yeah.
I added a dwarf instead of taking one away. Yeah, there's another Dark Claw gone. And I think I missed. Oh, I forgot to take off that other Great Spear. Too. I'll get that in a second.
Derek is not wounded at all, which is good.
And he is up in the mix now, so
Yeah,
he's got that 5th
he's not
attack.
in shadow or dungeon though.
Right.
But it does seem like he, I think maybe took out some Dark Claws, maybe one of them. Attack a 7 with height on them when they were in shadow, I think.
So you were playing this event earlier, right? The Bring 2?
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
We're not.
Yeah. I went 3-2. I was 3-0, and then lost to Ben, who went 5-0, and then lost to George, Dragon Ruler, on the 3-1 game.
Oh, okay. What did you bring for it?
I brought mixed elementals and the sharpshooters, North Carolina dudes, and I brought non-Spartacus VC gladiators, so Capwans with like Tetrates and Priscus and the Gladiatrix.
Oh, nice. That's right. I like that. So, one question that I kind of like to look at when I'm looking at like armies and stuff and what people bring for Bring 2, what's kind of like your process when you're looking at how to balance things against each other and what kinds of armies to use?
Raga has lost a lot of arcs now. Yes, he has.
Yeah, and
yes.
I am doing a
See,
bad
like,
job of remembering which ones they are.
So now it's a lot more difficult for him to figure out where to put order markers because it's kind of, everything's vulnerable, except for the quick blades, I guess. So he's probably just going to stack them on, stack them on quick blades. Or no, we put them on, a lot of them on gray spears.
Yeah, those are 3 on gray spears.
One on Swift Fangs.
Swift Fangs, yeah. Yeah, those last couple turns were...
I think he lost a quick blade. I think that's...
Oh, is that one?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 Dark Claw left, 2 Gray Spears, 1 Swift Fang, 2 Quick Blades. Thank you, Thresher.
He's paying attention more than we are.
2 Gray Spears.
Yeah, so for take 2, you want 2 armies that are able to beat one another. Mm-hmm. You don't want to show up with one army that's going to just completely destroy the other army. Because basically, also if you play 2 armies that are weak, but they're good into each other, like you're just going to play your opponent's builds because they're going to be stronger.
Right.
So you want to play at least like medium strength armies. I think you can have armies that are like a little bit funky. It doesn't have to be complete cheese, but because kind of the one component to it is that, you know, if your opponent is unfamiliar with an army, you can play it into them and they're not comfortable. Ben, Earl of Sandwich, he had Lulja, the like ice construct, and I was pretty unfamiliar with that unit, so that definitely benefited him. But yeah, I think 2 armies that can beat one another, but maybe have like, it's not super intuitive what to do.
Oh, okay.
So that's useful because if you play those 2 builds, then you're gonna have an edge up on your opponent, and when they don't know how to take one of them and beat the other one. And then if you also have enough to be able to cover something, like if you have 2 things that are terrible into range, like there's always the possibility that you go up against an opponent that has an army that's like good and one that's like not that great, and they get to choose the good one, and that's
right.
But yeah, a lot of it is covering a good amount of matchups, covering your 2 armies can beat one another. That's very important. And just kind of looking at the armies, being like, okay, I think this one has like the best matchups to the other 3. But that just takes a lot of experience.
Right. I don't do Bring 2 very often, which I think hurts. Like when I'm theory crafting armies or something like that, I definitely don't think I've got the experience as good for it.
Like I won ScapeCon East Championship, and that was take 2.
Oh, really? Nice.
And I did Dwarves and Ashigaru.
Okay.
Ashigaru with Kato Raylan, Ashigaru Yari, Ashigaru Harklebus. Mm-hmm. And a big reason why I did that was because Dwarves have an uphill battle into that a lot of the times because they get 8 activations, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So I pulled that out in the finals, which was good. And Dwarves also, are good into a lot of things that are good into the Ashigaru army. So I like the surprise element of it, and I felt like no one was going to really choose the Ashigaru, and no one did except for me in the finals. So.
Right. No, I love Ashigaru. I think they're a great like army to, like you said, surprise people, and I feel like a lot of time they underestimate. They're like, oh, 1 defense, I can cleave through that, but not if 8 attacks gets you first.
Yeah.
Do you like to go into like hard counters with your armies as much, or is it more just kind of like this level of the armies, like the just overall power?
For take 2 or for anything?
For bring 2, really, like, do you like to do like, okay, I'm going to put like some range in this army, and I'll put Phantom Knights, but I'll have something that kills Phantom Knights in the other army and stuff like that?
Well, it's weird because your opponent can play your armies, you know, like you might have to face your armies. So I would say, excuse me, I'd say the main 2 things is you want 2 armies that are good into one another and strong enough that it's not just going to be that you play your opponent's 2 armies every single time.
Right.
And then additionally, it's beneficial to you if you have an army that you're very familiar and comfortable with and not as many people are. So like the Ashigaru army, not many people play it. So it's a bit like Reverse the Whip, how like playing something obscure that you're comfortable with benefits you.
Okay. And that's maybe where I don't do as well. I feel like I kind of go a little too generic a lot of the time.
You also probably don't want armies a pair of armies that are like map dependent. It's like, well, this one could beat the other one if I get this like pretty specific map configuration, but
right.
Otherwise it's not going to.
Yeah. No, that's fair. All right, let's see. So, 1B11 left.
That's all that's left?
Thanks for answering those questions. I guess, and Derek has 2 questions, or 2 lives.
Derek has 2 questions.
2 questions for us.
What should I do here, guys?
And those questions are, what am I going to do?
So Derek does have full health.
He's got 2 life right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good commentator.
No, that's okay. I liked your answer to those questions, and that's fine. It's just also like right at the end of that, things really picked up. Like 3B11 just died in a row.
Yeah, so he's got what, 2 Gray Spears?
Yeah, it looks like 2 Gray Spears and 1 of each left. Let me update that real quick too.
He's out of Dark Claws though. So Doc's Son really needs to kill a Gray Spear right now. So the activations go down to 2 activations instead of 3.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would probably just stick Derek in the Shadow. Take the LEA and
go for Gray Spear?
Yeah, I think all of his dwarves are dead.
Yeah, the X-Grinders are gone.
I mean, I don't know, it's interesting because if he does all on B11s, he can just retreat to the backspace of the Star Zone, kill a Gray Spear, and that's pretty good. Gray Spear can't get to him until...
Let's see.
Okay, so Rye Guy won initiative, which is
so
he's not good for Doc's Son.
Right. And you just for sure take those 2 attacks down on the B11, right? Just trying to finish that off.
Yeah, well, he didn't bond with anything, which is weird.
Oh, did he not? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, no, Order Marker 1 was on the...
Swiftfang.
Swiftfang,
right.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Did just kill it? Oh, he got it. Or did he not get it? Maybe there was another shield blocked by the
yeah, he didn't kill
edge.
it.
Okay, yeah. All right, so Duxton has a...
Still in a rough spot because he's 4 away from 2 heighted grace, or no, 1 heighted grace spear. Yeah, you probably just take the attack. Got the kill.
Yeah, it'd just be so dangerous to
I
disengage
mean,
there.
he's got 5 defense. He can.
Like
Okay, now he's going for.
A single B11 can do work.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. It's a 5/5 with range. All right, he just attacked Derek with the quick blade.
Don't think Derek took a wound there, and so now he's rolling against B11 and took it out. And then another attack on Derek.
Probably game.
Yeah, it looks like all the order markers were on B11 there. So he'll probably be able to. He rolls a 1 for Hide in Darkness.
And that's game.
That's game. All right.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was actually, honestly, like...
If he
It
wins
was a very
initiative
close
with the
game.
B11, retreats into the backspace of the start zone, kills the Grey Spear on height, or the other Grey Spear actually, he's in a really good spot because he'd have 3 Varks left, but they're all different OMs.
Right, yeah,
And,
exactly.
or they're all different squads, and he can just run around with attacks of 5.
Yeah. And that can do the work that you need in order to just get the win there, but it's not quite enough. Those Varks are just so oppressive to the game board there as they run in and just like...
yeah, especially that map. They just all get to like the same.
Yeah. No, it's so short and so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I know the army compositions because the one thing I learned a lot from ScapeCon 2, and especially if you go through all my ScapeCon 2 videos, is that my army compositions blew.
Really?
And so after 2 years, and I think this is what's nice about coming to ScapeCon every 2 years, at least for me, is that it gives me time to build up my collection, go out to smaller events, practice with them, learn them, and then come here and get absolutely destroyed. So, so at the end of the day, yeah, I think my army compositions were fine. That wasn't the problem. I think it definitely was the matchups because I don't know how to play these events. So, I guess I usually like talking like I assume that everyone doesn't know what they're talking, doesn't know what's going on. So, bring 2, strike 1. You know, the whole idea being. You bring 2, everyone brings 2, so there's 4 armies, and then you roll dice off, and you decide who's going to be player A or B. And now player B is going to be able to strike an army, and then player A gets to pick first, and then player B gets to pick second. So what was happening is I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that situation. I've never played this format before. I don't know if it's right to strike. I don't know what to strike because I don't know what's going to be good in playing into what. I have no idea. You know, I like playing melee scape, so I assume that anything with range isn't going to be good for melee scape. And then I just assume that and go, all right, I'll do melee in the melee. But if I don't know what my other melee, like Phantom Knights. I played Phantom Knights versus Havocs. Now, in theory, I'm like, well, shoot, because I picked first. And this is my versus Sir Heroescape match. Mm-hmm. So, and it was also it's also the map. I've been learning a lot about choosing the map, especially yesterday with 3-headed Hydra. Map is super important. So Heroescape and I were playing on Takala Sunrise. I hate that map.
You hate that map?
I hate that map.
I love that map.
It looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's a really cool map to play on. I would love. You know what I really want to do? I want to integrate it into a Heroescape adventure. So I want
I
to
can
take.
see that.
I want to take like not even like, for example, like if I bring Heroes Game Adventure to like a big event, but like if I propose, okay, you know what? Let's turn some of these competitor maps into adventures. That would be one that I would do.
Okay.
Because it's a little bit different. It feels less technical, right? The map we're watching now, which is Songs of the Walrus.
Yep.
Nice. We said it at the same time. It feels very technical. It feels calculating, right? And I mean, you look at a map and go, cool. Swamp and ice look ugly, but sure, whatever. The hive's there, wonderful, beautiful. But you could see the technical of it, where the height is placed, where the glyphs are, and this and that. Like, it feels calculated. It doesn't feel like it's part of a world. Takala Sunrise feels like it's part of the world. It feels like it's just a swamp, jungly, like, and then it's just like some mounds of sand. You can feel it. It's got a good vibe. I love it.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Like 100%. I think it was definitely made at a time when maps were more based on feel.
Right.
For sure. So I think I can kind of see where you're coming from there.
So back to the matchups. So he had Phantom Knights, and I had Havoc Eradicators. And I was like, okay, cool. So I think I didn't do the one thing I should have done, which was to just keep walking them into engagements with the Phantom Knights, and just like, naturally just punch everybody.
Right.
But I did risk things and risk rolling for their Plasma Surge, and did some range attacks, which in the Phantom Knights, you're like, Joe, please, don't do that. And yeah, you're right. But he pushed Severus out first. He had a Severus.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like I really couldn't get him engaged. So I feel like I had to kind of shoot him a little bit. But then getting out of the start zone was the hard part. And that's why the map's important. I really should have went spiders. I think spiders would have been way more fun.
Oh, okay.
Because they're fast, and I can get out of the start zone quicker. And there was a lot of jungle, so I can hide them in different places, and then they can sprawl out of nowhere, and I can get a couple attacks.
Oh, spiders are so much fun doing that.
Because like I said, I had first pick, so I had played spiders my very first game, lost to my Eradicators. That's how I knew that was a good matchup. Then I was like, all right, well, I get to choose now, so let me do Havocs. Because I didn't really care for playing Phantoms, and his other army was, I don't remember. But I was like, all right, I'll do my other army. I'll see how it goes. So I'll do Havocs.
Yeah.
But then I went into doing what I normally do, and just not my original plan.
Okay, sounds good.
What happened?
Sorry, it was just. Okay, perfect.
Has there been no audio?
No, we've got audio right now.
You're low on battery, so if it happens to die while you're streaming, just unplug this.
Okay.
And then at least get internal camera mic.
Okay. Gotcha. So this is where is there a charger on this?
I don't know if there's Yeah, I'm not sure how that one goes.
Oh, I see it. See, my phone's low on battery too, and I came down to paint. See, I'm sorry, we're talking about everything but the game.
No,
I apologize. This is my thing. Like I love talking about the game, but watching it is so hard. Is that Ratcham? What is it?
Rockheim? I think is how you should kind of do it.
What does he do?
Rockheim. So, good question. Just one sec real quick while I update the dead figures on the board.
This conversation's going to go all over the place.
Hey,
my apologies.
Is okay. Hey, we're just here for
welcome to my brain.
Good time, color commentary. It's good. So, and that's a good question though. So, if you guys don't know who Rockheim, the Chimera that Caps has in his start zone, so Chimera got 3 hedge. He has a triple attack, but he's got a range of 1. So if he's engaged, he gets to use 3 attacks. He does also have a ranged special attack, which I think it's like. I don't remember that one as well, I think it's like range 5, attack 3, and lava defense, or figures with lava resistance roll like 2 less defense or something like that. The effect doesn't do tons, but he's a pretty potent figure, and we've got a little bit of clash here in the middle with Stingers and Shieldsmiths going on here. So
I have to look those up too. I don't know what Shieldsmiths do.
Shieldsmiths? Oh, Shieldsmiths are cool. They've got, Indomitable, the Frost Giant ability where they get +2 attack if they start engaged and +2 move if they're unengaged.
Okay.
So they've got that. They're kind of like mini heroes. They've got 5 defense.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're pretty strong little stinkers. That said, the Stingers are kind of just chewing them up right now.
They're small 3.
Yeah, small 3.
Oh,
they have
they're
steadfast.
dwarves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these guys are cool. Okay. For any customs people out there in the world, can we get more abilities with personalities or classes? For the love of God, please.
More of those synergies in there.
Yeah, like, can you imagine getting a resolute bonus from a hero or
I
something?
could see that being a thing too. Like Resolute's a good personality.
It is. You know, like there are stuff with Tricky. There is stuff with what's not Romans, the other Romans, Disciplined.
Oh, Sacred Band.
Sacred Band.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff like that, but I definitely would like to see more of that. There should be at least one guy that does everything. You know, like
right.
For every personality, there should be someone boosting it. You know, we need an Optimus Prime that gives a nice long speech at the end of a movie, and then you know, like I know you're probably saying like, oh yeah, there is a guy that does that. I was like, yeah, there is. We need more.
I love that Optimus Prime gives a speech and.
Michael Bay has inspired me, so.
Or like a figure where it's, who just like works well with others, and if each figure in your army has a different personality, then you get some kind of bonus.
Yeah. Does the Shieldsmith guy just have a guy with a cape?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, who's the one with the cape?
Yeah, so one of them's got a cape, the other ones are more normal. But yeah, it looks like Raigai got a lot of good early kills, 5 Shieldsmiths down, where Cabs is starting to catch up, right? Like that's the range into melee, or melee into range game where you're going to take some early losses, but now he's okay, so 2 Stingers down there.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, they have 4 move. Yeah, man, oh, that's right, the 5 defense.
So the 5 defense, and plus they have 6 move if they start unengaged. So
okay.
they only have 4 move if they start engaged, which
that's
works out really
thematic
well.
with other dwarves, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's I like, they're one of my favorite customs because they just fit in so well alongside the X grinders.
Right.
They in fact, I think they're even. No, I like Indomitable. They also have Steadfast. That's a new power, but they're not like overly complex or anything like that. Steadfast doesn't come into play a bunch because not tons of figures are going to move you around, but it's cool to have that power where they can't be thrown or grabbed by a wyvern or something like that. So. But of course, we're ignoring Stingers are like your best friends, right?
No.
You're the wait. What? Hang on. Aren't you the Maro?
I love
is it
Maro.
Specifically drones?
It's specifically anything but Stingers.
Anything but Stingers. Oh, I apologize. You're so offended. That was like such a quick no. I'm like, shoot, I messed up.
No, Stingers are alright. I do have more now. I'm gonna have once I paint my 3D prints, I'm gonna have 5 squads of Stingers.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'll practice a little bit more with them. I just hate it because I feel like no one uses their power and it's kind of wasted. And
Yeah, Stinger
And it's
Drain
like,
is the bad
why
power.
use them then?
Yeah.
You know, drones, like, they're great because you get the roll, their power is useful. They're not the crazy strongest, but they're not the weakest either. Like, they're B tier, right? Like, that's kind of their role, and that's fine. I like that. I always felt like I was a B student. I know, so I'll stick with that. I'm a Hive guy. I like the Hive, so I want things to work with the Hive. So that's why I like dividers. And
that's why I like dividers, because they work so well with the Hive.
They work so well with the Hive. I only say that too because I played a General Wars event in Maryland, College Park, Maryland, and where I took 3 squads of drones because that's all I had because it was Rule of 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I took 3 squads of dividers and the Sanguine Raider. And so I won 3 out of my 4 games, and the only reason I lost my game is because I didn't rebirth one of the drones. Otherwise, I would have had
really?
Would have had one of my points. And I'm like, that was the closest I've ever been to winning a tournament, and I'm like, yo, that's kills me. I love that story. It's so great. I played so well.
And then it's just that one thing. Cytail says, kids use Stinger Drain and it never fails. I feel like that's true. I do feel like the younger you are, the more likely Stinger Drain is to succeed. There's some kind of karma going in there.
From such experience.
No, it's true. Like if I'm playing a kid and it's his first, time coming to one of our local events, he's going to be running Stingers and he's going to get an extra attack every single time.
No, for sure.
Crochan saying if they're good without using their power, the drain is just gravy. It's a gravy that can give you food poisoning, but that's fair.
Yeah.
Love drones. So actually, kind of like on this topic of drone stingers hive, there's a guy in our local scene in Utah who his signature army is to go Morrow Hive, 2 squads of stingers, and then 4 or 5 squads of drones depending on the point total.
Sure.
And that's actually been a really potent army, especially when looking at a lot of defensive armies that kind of come up when you're playing defensively. If you've got Hive and you can rebirth potentially infinitely, right? If they don't make strong plays, you can just out attrition a lot of matchups.
Right.
So that's good. And then it's also got stingers to do the range thing at first, but then once they get close enough, you swarm them with drones. So
yeah, but what I hate about having stingers in a hive army or having anything else. I mean, I know that we don't talk about Drudge, but we don't talk about Drudge. But having anything else that you can rebirth, it's I don't want to have a choice. I don't because I don't know what to choose. What if I choose wrong? I don't want to. Well, what Gordon always says, well, no matter what your choice is, it is wrong. But and that's why I try not to listen to myself anymore. I just do the exact opposite of what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take that inspiration for the future. So at least I really I like the drones. So I'm gonna rebirth all the drones because if I don't have I want to make sure I'm rolling enough so I can move all 9.
Right.
To me that's the idea. So if I'm rebirthing at some point I guess if my majority of my drones are gone, then I'll just rebirth stingers. I guess that's the idea. Right? Wrong?
Yeah. Really, it depends, right?
And that's why I don't like that choice. Just give me That's why I put dividers, because dividers at least will either hold the line or not, and then allows me time to rebirth all the drones. And then while you're done dealing with my dividers and they're gone, guess what? All my drones are back.
Yeah. I can see your logic there.
Yeah, but once again,
I don't disagree with it.
All the Morrow on paper, fantastic. It's once you get that D20 roll going, it's nah, not gonna work.
Yeah, D20 is not the biggest fan of me, so I struggle in that area sometimes.
Yeah. So the match.
Yeah. No, I mean we're talking about relevant stuff. We're talking about the Shieldsmiths and the Stingers and stuff.
Yeah.
The game, unfortunately, has kind of I don't want to like oversimplify it, but it's kind of just been roles, right? Like they've just been playing for the center.
There's not really any none of the glyphs have been touched.
Yeah,
which is crazy because Solar Asteroid and Move are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good glyphs to have on a map.
Yeah, they are, but like I think just the middle of this map is so strong that like if you can take the middle with stingers, you basically win in this matchup. So Caps has to say, no, I gotta fight for the middle. Oh, we've got Heracles coming out to play now too.
Yeah, he better start chucking people, or I'm gonna chuck him.
I'm
serious. I'm gonna walk over there and chuck Rye Guy.
I think he did throw a guy actually. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's the throw.
All right, good.
Didn't do the damage for it though. So. Yeah, let's see. See, Thresher Darkray says, I agree, the middle is so powerful for stingers that the glyphs aren't worth fighting for. Does Steadfast... Oh, you're totally right. Steadfast should prevent the throw there.
Oh. What is Steadfast again?
So Steadfast is the Shieldsmith, which should make it so that they can't be moved by opponent powers.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, which actually, I didn't even think about it, but that would negate the throw there. So... Yeah, that throw shouldn't have happened. Yeah, it's unfortunately progressed, like the board state has changed enough. But I am going to run over real quick if you want to hold on to the stream.
Yeah, I'll hold down the fort.
Yeah, we can't reverse like the throws that happened, but I'll let him know just for the future that he can't keep throwing. Thanks, guys, for pointing that out.
Yeah, good on you, Crow. Appreciate it. Oh. All right. Thank you, Crow. He threw 2 and got 1 kill from it. Uh-oh. If Rye Guy wins right now, cheater. Big cheater. Oh my god. That's all right. I mean, look, it's people make mistakes. I think Ken last night during dinner was like, this is a game for 8-year-olds. And then someone else ran out and was like, no, it's a game for 14-year-olds. Because of the new AOA box. It says 14 and not 8. So, not the end of the world, but we really appreciate that you guys, because we want to make sure everyone is honest and playing the game properly. So now Rye Guy is going to feel really bad about winning if he does. But then again, we have Rackham to go through, and I don't remember everything he does, so I'm going to look that up real quick.
All right, yeah. Thanks again, Thrasher, for noticing that first. I do just think it's.
What were they saying? Were they like, "Oh no"?
Yeah. Well, I said, Rye Guy, we're disappointed in you, and he thought I was joking at first, and like,
he was joking.
Yeah, and then I'm like, because it's Steadfast, and he's like, what's Steadfast? So I think he's just unfamiliar with the card.
But I'm surprised Caps didn't say anything.
Yeah, I think honestly,
you should know your army, dude.
I think that's part of it, right? Like I've played the Shieldsmiths a few times. Like Thrasher says, it basically never comes out. Like it's one of those powers that like when I'm playing them, I've forgotten about it several times. I know, like playing against like a Wyvern or Warforged or something like that.
Sure.
And then after the game, I'm like, shoot, you can't move my guy.
Yeah.
So it's a very common mistake there.
Yeah, I mean, Thrasher's right. It doesn't come up. There are some abilities that are like, because someone was asking me yesterday about what armies I was going to bring for this event, and I was like, well, I was definitely playing Havocs, but I don't know what for the other one. And the other army I was thinking was bringing Zedian Infantry, because I really love Utkar Solborg. That's like my second faction I love. And he's like, oh, don't they have an ability where they can deny, attacks for, wounds for the Deathwalkers? And they're like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, but it's like, I think it was like special attacks or something. But like I reread it and I was like, oh yeah, it's special power for damage that's from special powers that aren't attacks. And I'm like, well, who's got that? I'm like, the only one I can think of is like Solin's Dragon.
Yeah,
Like, that's the only one I can think of. Like, who else has a special power that's doing damage that isn't considered an attack? So it's it's so very specific, which is fine. I like that, but
yeah, no, that's honestly, I could see myself I don't have the infantry, but I could see myself forgetting that all the time because, yeah, those kinds of specific powers or. Those kind of blink and you miss it powers.
Yeah.
So Shieldsmiths are gone off the board now. And Heracles is going toe-to-toe with... Did Heracles ever fight a Chimera in the Legends? Was that a thing that happened?
Maybe. Who's standing out? Oh, it's one last Stinger out there.
Is what?
I was trying to figure out who was standing out there. Is it the Stinger?
Oh, okay.
It kind of looked like Cantella.
I can tell. Yeah, I can see that at this distance, this angle.
Yeah. So now, wow, Heracles is going after the Chimera. This is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate that it's in the start zone, but sure.
Right.
How did he get there? Did he throw himself?
That was Belophoron. That sounds correct. Yeah, I know Heracles kind of fought a menagerie almost, did a menagerie of different things. Yeah, that is not canon. Yeah, I figured probably not, but, Heracles did a lot of stuff. I can't remember everything he did or did not do. But putting punches on...
I'm sorry, who put the tape for the cards? What a genius idea.
Tape for the cards. Oh, yeah, we're just marking off, keep your stuff in this area so we can see it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I see the area for the dice boxes, too, because those keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
Yeah, it's been very helpful for sure. All right, and that is
what?
Shake hands, and that's the game.
What?
Once Heracles comes in, it's like Rackham unfortunately just can't really stand against that.
Wow, Ryguy's a cheater. Wow.
Yeah, man, imagine throwing guys with steadfast leads you to the win. Wow. to be fair, I do think he would have had the game. Anyway, like he did get a kill off of it.
But man, getting Heracles and just like literally punching the hell out of Rackham.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what he's made to do.
Yeah, he might be full life. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be full. Yeah, he's just off the.
Caps, how do you feel about being cheated? How was that?
Pretty embarrassing since I was the lead designer for the Shieldsmiths.
No, you were what?
I was. What? So I should know how they work.
Oh no!
That is wow. Okay.
I let Heracles throw 2 of my steadfast oars, and he killed one.
Like a skill issue, my friend.
It's a memory issue. I need to sleep more.
No, it was awful because Thrasher Darkrai pointed it out for us in the chat. But so at the beginning of the game, we were talking about the cards. Steadfast, it's a cool power. It doesn't really come up that often, though.
Yeah.
And then later on, Heracles was throwing dwarfs, and Thrasher's like, you shouldn't be doing that, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh shoot, yeah.
I mean, you can't say anything in the middle. I guess, well, actually, no, you could because it's a mandatory power.
So once I knew, I went over. I told them, but we didn't reverse. We couldn't reverse.
There was a few order
markers.
markers. Yeah.
My spiders and Mohicans, I thought after I lost round 2, okay, I don't have to face any more Nilfgaards. Or if there's any Nilfgaards. Which I did. And the fact that at the end of the game, there was a 1-life Nilfheim and a single green scale in Theracus, and I had many opportunities to finish Nilfheim off. So I came very close to winning that. Honestly, there's 2 or 3 points in the game where something does go that way. I do. So I don't quite know how it happened, but it did.
It works out.
I think I expected the Shieldsmiths to last longer against the Stingers.
Okay.
I probably should have grabbed the top level height as soon as I could have, because I could have. My usual philosophy is deny attacks rather than get more defense.
Right.
But in that situation, it's better to deny them having 4 attack dice and try to weather some 3v6s than not grab those high spots. But in hindsight, I might have picked a different army altogether.
Yeah, we were talking during the game, that game was basically just a fight for the middle there, right? So And with like, cause stingers, it does feel like if they get that top ground, they can snowball so easily, and there's some back and forth in there. But so I can see where like, you know, like that cliff, right? Solar Astrid would be great to have. But
You sit. I'm gonna go clean up.
Push for that.
Thanks, everybody.
I didn't have I didn't feel like I could sacrifice attacks to grab it. And I didn't want to grab it earlier in the game when he could get a pot shot down at it.
Right, yeah,
So
exactly.
it's kind of, there was never a good time to grab it.
Yeah, it just, okay. But yeah, let's see, I'm trying to remember other points in the game. Okay, I mean, it kind of just boiled down to that push for the center, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you go for move cliff early in the game?
I did, I grabbed it.
You grabbed it, okay.
He killed it.
Killed it right away?
The next order marker, I think. So I only had it one turn.
Okay. So yeah, so 5 defense just not quite doing what you expected it to do?
No, and I mean, like I said, I probably shouldn't have let him have the top elevation there. Because I had it, if I had rushed, kind of bum rushed those spots, I could have grabbed them and just hoped that I weathered 3v6s long to hold it, or at least keep whoever's there engaged. So
Right.
if I at least one of those 2 hexes on his side, then even if he's up there, he can't make high ground attacks against me. That's the main thing I would have done differently, other than just picking a different army. Maybe I should have picked the stingers.
Okay. How did because we're never...
I had him banned, and he banned the Varks.
Okay.
Because he had all 4 squads of Varks.
Yeah.
It's my favorite army to play.
Oh, really? Nice.
I love him. But yeah, he banned the Varks, and then I thought, okay, well, 12 dwarves should outlast 9 stingers.
Right,
That's my
you'd think.
reasoning.
Yeah.
And maybe if I had positioned differently, they would have, but they did not. I had kind of shitty dice too, but I think if I would have felt. Well, if I had shitty dice and better positioning, I would have maybe felt worse. But I could at least say, okay, I made the right play. Versus this one, like, in hindsight, I should have grabbed those sixes sooner.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I do think. Let's see. What was the other army? Was the honor guard, right?
3 honor guard and 2 Zedians and warden.
That's right.
And that one really doesn't have an answer for Heracles.
Yeah.
Even less than the shieldsmiths. Because the shieldsmiths can at least get 4 attack.
Right.
The honor guard are capped out at like 3 skulls, and they can get height, right? But that's probably not happening. Probably making that happen. So that army is a little more fragile. There's a lot more overall life points, more figures. But against Stingers and Heracles, I didn't feel like it had the oomph. So
Okay.
I actually feel okay playing that army against Shieldsmiths, and in our first match, we played each other in the regular.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And in that match, he picked the Shieldsmiths, and I picked my guard army, and I beat him with it.
Oh, nice.
So I feel like those armies actually match up closer than it looks like on paper. But the guard army doesn't match up well against a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I could see that having some. Because you got the 2 cores there to balance. So.
Yeah, and they work together pretty okay because you can activate Zedians and then use get the ability, but the other ability to move the honor guard at the end of the round. And so you can keep the army close together. And I really advanced onto my half of the map in that first game against him.
Oh, nice.
Controlled it pretty well. And was able to pretty consistently get 3 or even 4 attacks when activated Zedians because they can do work. And that, I think, was key in that game.
Okay. Nice. Let's see. I'm just going to check and see if we've got any. Those are automatic ones that we were talking about. Oh, I should turn off those. Always forget to turn off the army information. But yeah, no. It was a fun game to watch, though. Lots of back and forth in it.
Right, because at one point I had his stingers kind of on their back foot.
It seemed like you were pushing back into the start zone.
Yeah. That might have been a mistake. I probably should have killed a few more stingers. Even though I knew for sure he had Order Morphers on Heracles.
Oh, okay.
8 life, like, I'm not going to kill him.
Right.
So putting wounds on him early is probably less beneficial than killing more stingers, because he ended up using stingers more, and I think getting killed with them after that. And so if I had taken out more stingers, that's probably the other mistake I made in the game. It's like, okay, well, if he can't throw them,
right.
he can only kill one per turn, so
Yeah,
I might as well
exactly.
kill as many stingers as I can before I still have dwarves.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's just how it goes out. But cool. Thanks for stopping by and talking with us.